NFL. He's the type of kid who can beat you with his mind, beat you with his arm, and occasionally with his legs. A tough, skilled performer. Kenny Pickett, he's got some moxie to him.
They'll start on the ground with Harris. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. But defensively, you really can't script the start much better. You get a 3 and out and a sack.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. They kept them short of a first down on 1st and 2nd down. And then on 3rd down, they pick up a sack. What tremendous momentum for them to start this game.
Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback.
Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
And he remains the league's premier rushing threat and one of the biggest playmakers among quarterbacks. His goal each and every season, continue to expand his game as a passer and become well-rounded. All those highlight reel plays you see, they come off the fact that he can run it, throw it, and scares defenses every time he takes a snap.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Play action. It's Jackson.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
So, Charles, our first points of the game provided defensively. What a play that was.
And I can only imagine that the folks at home watching are thinking to themselves, that's one of those plays where once the ball leaves the quarterback's hands, you just sort of go, uh-oh, and wait for the result. This time, the defense benefited.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. They're going to run it with Harris. And he is not going to make it. They stop him up short, and this will remain a 6-0 ball game.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Oh, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone. Keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game.
Remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands. Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense that's certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack.
And partner, I think this is what long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down.
And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. From the gun, here's Pickett. They'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Fryermuth. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
You often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
Pickett now on 1st down.
He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Patrick Queen.
There he goes, left side. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
Well, they matched their opponent's pick 6 from earlier. Those are some crucial points that may prove pretty consequential as to how this one plays out.
And Brandon, I think now we're not just watching how they move around the field, but we're checking their psychology out a little bit, aren't we? Because that defense, they're about to go right back out with all the momentum on their side. That's for the opposing offense. You wonder if there's going to be some hesitation to lean entirely on the passing game to try and mount a counterattack.
And this is going to be hauled in. So they get the 2-point conversion. And now they have an 8-6 lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
And a short kick taken at about the 16. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. It's their third drive now, and so far we've seen a punt, and that second drive, CD, they turned the ball over, so not the start that they were envisioning.
Yeah, they've been ineffective so far, but look, they've worked on a game plan all week long. Don't get away from it too soon. Find a way to get some significant gains, loosen up, get going, and then they should be okay the rest of the way.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set him back for second down.
You know when I could tell this was going to end really badly? When he launched himself behind the line and made a beeline for the ball carrier. You get one of those tapping machines in the middle on your trail, things are normally ending pretty quickly.
Now, after the loss, he'll have to navigate a 2nd and 17.
Looking to throw, Pickett.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey.
And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
I believe this is what you would call growing pains here, partner, because this defense obviously took the challenge facing the rookie, and they wanted to help indoctrinate him to the NFL. So now the big question is, can he answer that challenge and rebound with plenty of time remaining in this game?
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack, and I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one, but occasionally the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly, maybe someone tipped it off, but on that play, it had no chance.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down.
Even with him busting through the contact, he'll still be stopped just inside the 35. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now it's Jackson. And his bid for the first down coming up short as he's tackled at the 25. They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. Steps away to his left.
Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted.
Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick.
And the Steelers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open, otherwise just don't do it.
So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
Well, that wasn't exactly a thing of beauty. I know they completed the pass, but look at the yardage lost. I mean, who does that make happy?
That's why I don't play in PPR points per reception fantasy leagues right there.
You'd be really
You don't deserve
upset,
anything
right?
for that.
But you get credit for it? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Well, I know whoever has this team's defense, they were happy about that play.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh, it's intercepted. They got Pickett for the 3rd time in this game. Picked off by Roquan Smith.
And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
Now, the offense, they've really not been able to mount anything yet on that drive, and the defense made sure they couldn't mount anything. The interception and the return adding 6 to the scoreboard.
And that's no small return for a linebacker partner. He took matters into his own hands and his legs on that pick. And once he had it, I don't think anyone on the field could have stopped it.
Well, split the difference, and they're right where they would have been with 2 PATs. They got the 2-point conversion the first time. They failed there.
Interesting, isn't it? Because the first time you go after your first score, that feels like a gamble. The second time when they tried it again, that felt like, what the heck, right? Because, as you said, even if you miss it, you split the difference, and you're right on schedule at 14 points.
Pickett leads the Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs
at their 25-yard line.
After the pick six, here's Pickett to try again.
It's brought in by Harris. So he stopped for no gain, and it's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Going for it on 4th down. Here's Pickett.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Tyus Bowser with a pick.
And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Jackson taps his forward jet sweep. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Jackson.
He'll swing this out to Dobbins.
And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
4th down, here's Jackson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. And that makes him now 0 for 3 on 4th down attempts.
A lot of people would say they're showing a lot of guts going for it this many times on 4th down. I think they'd have to start thinking with their head a little bit more than with their gut and their emotions, because it's not working for them. They've got to figure out what's been going wrong.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field of the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling, and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Trying with Pickett here on 3rd down.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he will have a Steelers first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
This is a nice job of just taking what the defense is going to give you on 3rd down. You're not looking for a big play downfield. You just want to find something that can get you past the marker. They found it and were able to keep the drive moving.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
To throw again on 2nd down.
Pickett.
And now here's another interception.
Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
But based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes it.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
There's your co-NFL record holder, T.J. Watt, doing what he does best, terrorizing quarterbacks. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick 6, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick 6, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you. And in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
Jackson throwing on 4th down. And this one is incomplete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. So they have now gone for it on 4th 4 times, and they have converted no times.
I know we talk about analytics and how it's entered into the game, and there's a good percentage that says, go for it, you will actually make a good percentage. In this case, the analytics just went right out the window. 0 for 4. They've got to start looking at things in a different way.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 27. And my goodness, another interception. And the Ravensons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. They brought the house that time on a young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break up their routes quickly as well.
Now on 2nd and 13, Jackson.
And that'll be complete to Dobbins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now Jackson taps this forward, jet sweep. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
On 2nd and 9. Jackson.
He'll find Bateman once more.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 41-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. After one, 14-6 our score. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, he's been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Martin, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. In the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
On 3rd down, Jackson out to his left. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Pickett to throw on 1st down.
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Patrick Queen. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. Looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage and that's it. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the 1st half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead here to 17-6.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's the veteran Justin Houston who got in there to make the stop.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Here's another carry for Harris. 4 yards on the pickup there. Now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same.
Pickett in trouble, and down he goes. Patrick Queen got in there to stick him. He gets the sack. A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marcus Williams.
And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception.
And the Steelers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had an excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn. Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out as they did.
Yeah, decent little game. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Pickett and the Steelers in need of a big play here. 3rd and long after the sack.
They'll set up to throw. He gets it complete to Harris. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
No surprise they decided to throw on 3rd down. A little bit of a surprise that they completed the pass and lost yardage on the play.
Here we go. It's Pickett on 4th down. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. And he is going to have the Steelers first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. 1st and 10. Here's Pickett.
He finds his man complete. It's Harris.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling, held it to an okay gain.
And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And he's brought down short by a yard. It's a third down gain of 4.
Always important as a defender on third down to keep the play in front of you and make sure you don't give up enough space that they can make a move on you in the open field. Try as he might, he wasn't able to get to the first down marker. Excellent defense, good tackling.
Already down 2 scores. They're going to go for this rather than settle for 3.
They're going for it. This is Harris. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as he'll wind up going backwards. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
Spin on it. At least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's one interception, we're still in the first half, I'm about to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense. Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
There's no signal where they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to them first down, second down, third down, all 3 incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson.
That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he is going to have a Ravens first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
21 yards there. A big play on 4th down.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. That seemed to be linebacking 101 on how to diagnose and stop a run.
And what we're doing nowadays is we're taking those former safeties, those bigger guys, and making them linebackers to utilize their speed. He just made an absolute beeline after he diagnosed that play and ended up making a nice tackle on it.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
And with a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field have covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
That's taken in by Duvernay.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 43. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
But things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
Jackson's throw brought in here by Bateman. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of them.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. A give up the middle to Dobbins. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. The Steeler defense locked in, forcing an upcoming 4th down.
Nice call by the defense there on 3rd down. Just flood the field with extra defensive backs in their dime package. Nowhere to go with the football. Forces the incompletion.
And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews.
And he is going to have a Ravens first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. They go back to the ground with Dobbins.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. downfield to make the stop.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out, but I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Ravens on third down. Not getting the job done at all. Very poor 1 for 10. This is 3rd and 11.
They set up the screen for Dobbins.
Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. From the gun, Jackson. And a loose football. And the offense will recover, but it won't make much difference here. This will still be a turnover on downs. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board, so let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, Pickett.
It's brought in by Harris. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
On 1st and 10, it's Pickett.
And now here's another interception.
Picked up by Patrick Queen.
And this is one heck of an individual performance we're witnessing. That is now his 3rd interception. And keep in mind, folks, this isn't a safety or a cornerback. This is a linebacker.
Does this feel to you like he's having a flashback? Because a lot of these linebackers we see in the NFL.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Cameron Sutton.
And the Steelers are going to get it back here just past the 35.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today. Let me get a little nautical with you, partner, because to me, that looked like a feeding frenzy of sharks out there. As soon as that play imploded, they all smelled blood in the water. Everyone screaming downhill, trying to get in on the hit for a big loss.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away.
Prochet on the return. So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return.
And the Ravens, they'll take over.
The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
To throw is Jackson. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. So we're at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, let's take a look at the next-gen stats from the first half for the Steelers. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there. You'd have to imagine, given the snowy condition, lots to talk about at halftime for these two coaching staffs. Plenty of decisions to be made for this second half for sure. And for the call, we hand it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
Indeed, Coach. Thanks very much. And that snow you alluded to showing no signs of stopping, at least in the foreseeable future.
This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter. And, Charles, they got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Meanwhile, Jackson's thrown into the hands of Andrews. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down.
Just a gain of a couple there. And that will bring up 2nd down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, trying to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
the gut with Dobbins.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. They go play action now. Jackson. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick.
And the Steelers force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10.
That is just what this defense was hoping for, an interception on the opening possession of this third quarter.
Obviously didn't want to surrender a touchdown and fall even farther behind, and we've gotten to know this team a little bit, haven't we? Couldn't you just see their defensive leaders telling the offensive guys, telling the quarterback, don't worry, we got you to start things off. You take it from there.
Pickett leads the Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs.
From back at their own 10-yard line.
To the air on first down with Pickett.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Able to find his man, it's Pickens. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Pickett now on first down.
And a quick throw here, that's complete.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Now Pickett.
Throwing middle, and it's complete.
And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Pickett to throw on first down. And returning right back to Boykin.
And he is going to lose yardage here. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On second down, this is Harris. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett.
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Ravens are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Well, this is something we've seen before, partner. We've seen a defense bait a rookie, pretend to leave a window open, and then the defensive back jumped it as soon as the ball was released. Big-time play. They love taking advantage of the youngsters, and in this case, it paid off well.
Yeah, he's able to push his way forward somehow for a gain of about 2 yards. Second down now.
Here's Edwards again on second down. And he'll get maybe a couple, if that, up to the 46.
2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. And now Jackson will look to throw it.
On target to his man, Likely.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The end result, 21 yards.
Brandon, there have been some memorable snow games for championships in the NFL. 1948, Philadelphia Eagles, Chicago Cardinals.
Most famous one of my lifetime, I think, is got to be 01, right? Raiders play. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
They're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but they still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
On 3rd down, here's Edwards. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick.
And the Steelers are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down.
And give him now 4 interceptions in this game. That's only the 3rd time this has been done since the year 2000.
I think that tells you how much better teams have gotten at throwing the football. If you go all the way back to 1960, 12 times before that, there have been guys who've gotten 4 interceptions or more in a game. I mean, most recently since...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
Well, whatever adjustments they're trying to make over on that sideline, Charles, this defense, they just seem to be a step in front of them and not giving them a chance to implement any of those changes. And here, a pick 6, and they widen the lead.
At least a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps. And right now, they are thinking hard about putting this opponent away. That turnover, they grew their lead and just totally deflated that offense. Now these next couple of series, you can take them out of the game entirely if you continue on this pace.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Pickett leads the Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs.
At their own 25-yard line.
After the pick 6, here's Pickett to try again.
And now here's another interception.
Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacence.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Miles Jack.
And the Steelers are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, Are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll start the drive with Harris. To about the 33-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. They'll run again with Harris. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now Pickett on 4th down.
And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
He took a shot there, but boy, was that ill-advised from my viewpoint. Coverage was awfully tight. How did he get away? But that would not be picked off.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Throwing is Jackson.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Cameron Sutton.
And the Ravens are going to have it here at their own 15.
How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so they're going to be diligent about throwing the flag.
Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Dobbins once more.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins
punching it in from a yard away.
And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Jackson here is going to look to throw. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more.
I guess when you're hot, you're hot. I mean, I would just go ahead and take the extra point and move on, but apparently they've got something to prove. Almost feels like something was said this week and they wanted to make sure that they laid it on them in this game.
And the Steelers set to take the field.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this...
And my goodness, another interception.
Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
On second down, a run with Dobbins. Running right through it. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
They go play action with Jackson. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick.
And the Steelers are going to get the football back at their own 17.
And yes, folks, that is his 5th interception, a new NFL record.
And that's absolutely phenomenal. I just have to flat out applaud him. What a great effort in this game. But let's face it, when you look back at the numbers of guys who had 4 in the past, you'll find the names of some of the greats and some guys who just had a fantastic game.
Pickett's throw here taken in by Boykin.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be second down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Off play action, Pickett. Throw left side, hauled in by Pickens.
Illegal touching. Offense.
Kind of surprised they accept the penalty.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is they want to move them back 5 yards because they feel good about their defense. But in most situations, you take the down. That's what counts more.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know, what do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always...
And my goodness, another interception. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And he is not quite going to make it all the way in. They'll mark him down right about the 1-yard line. What did you see there, Charles, on that interception from the rookie?
They've shown him certain looks on defense throughout the first half, and they pulled the string here in the second half because he got used to those looks, and they showed the exact same thing.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins with his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Ravens get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that
You
lead.
always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, It was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an outside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers.
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
He gets it complete to Harris.
Down inside the 10.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A big play there on the catch and run. 34 yards. It'll be first and goal when we come back. Back now in Pittsburgh. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Harris. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. Another shot from the 1 on second and goal. And he faked it. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4. Third and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. Looking to throw, Pickett.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Oh, my, that's a heck of a tackle right there on 3rd down because they had to swing it out to the back and hope that he could make a play. But let's face it, in order for him to be there and be in that position, in order to make that play, he had to read his keys and not be fooled. Excellent job in the open field.
Pickett, fourth down, desperation time. Open man is Johnson. Touchdown Steelers. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Steelers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. So on this drive, the rookie leads him into the end zone, Charles, and that helps cancel out the points that were created on the previous drive when he threw the interception.
Yeah, let's give some credit to this rookie because instead of hanging his head after his mistake leads to a touchdown, he comes back out and he's firing and made up for it right there. A well-executed series helps reestablish some confidence in him to run this offense.
And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what...
Oh, wide open, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Pass on the crossing route is complete. This is Andrews.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Here's a give to Dobbins.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. 3rd and 2. Here's Jackson.
That is caught. It's Bateman for a Raven touchdown.
4 yards on the touchdown grab.
And the Ravens have sewn this one up as they add to their lead here in the 4th. I'm not sure what other ground there is to cover here. I mean, this offense has been amazing. Just total domination, Charles.
They've clicked so well, and if you really focus in on the offensive line, they protected well when they want off the line of scrimmage when they wanted to run it. Smiles all the way around. This offense has been really good in this one.
Oh, a little cruel here. They're going to go for the onside kick up big. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things. Now they've given up that type of field.
And now here's another interception.
And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead now. They have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early.
Well, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. They'll run the toss here. Edwards. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'm guaranteed quietly is told that you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
They'll let this go for the end zone. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown.
So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is a chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
This one taken just inside the 10. And able to get this out to the 25.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Meanwhile, Pickett's throw complete to Freiermuth.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 45-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Dialing up another pass here, Pickett. That's complete to his tight end, Freiermuth. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
Pickett will look to throw it here. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
Kenny Pickett.
A 3-yard run as he kept it himself.
And the Steelers are able to eat in just a bit to this sizable deficit. Well, CD, they just haven't had a whole lot to cheer about or really grasp onto in this game. They've been dominated, but at least they get a late touchdown here, something positive to put on film for.
And my goodness, another interception.
It's Chuck Clark picking it off.
He's at the 50, the 30, 10, and he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way.
Well, there's some excitement, right? Go for 2, and instead it gets picked off. And how about the return? Give him a lot of credit, though, for not giving up after the play.
Yeah, the troops rallied.
Exactly, and getting back there and making the tackle and not giving up 2 points themselves.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Jackson's throws on target to Duvernay.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Jackson. His throw incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
They go play action now. Jackson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field.
And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
Fourth down. Here's Jackson. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 56 yards.
And the Ravens continue to run up the score. They lead it big here in the 4th.
They'll look to throw. It's complete. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it and get 2. You got some pretty tipped-off folks on the other sideline now.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Pickett. And now here's another interception.
Picked up by Patrick Queen. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this.